Hey, we just realized that the audio wasn't on, so we're going to stop and start over. Hey guys, welcome to another Monday Night Live with Complete Developer Podcast. So we attempted to do the live, and
even with jazz hands, it didn't work.
Yes,
because the audio was off. It was a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, we were asked not too long ago to talk about the beer that we're drinking when we record, because we do sometimes drink beer, but we have
especially him.
Yeah. Well, he cut it out for a while, but we have a really good one. You can tell it's kind of dark. And this is Grayton Beer's Double Barrel Ale. It is aged in casks from Belle Meade Bourbon, which is a local distillery here.
Right up the road.
Yep. And you get a bottle number and a barrel number. So it's really cool. Kind of nice. I've had this bottle sitting in my fridge for several months now because Will went on his diet back before he had surgery.
Yeah, because my thing was I didn't want to drink beer. I was in so much pain that I was like, okay, I might have to have emergency surgery at any moment. Because I would sneeze, it would put me in the floor in pain. And I have a pretty high pain tolerance, but it would just fold me right up. And so I was like, I'm not going to have any alcohol or anything because that's going to make it harder for them to give me pain medicine.
Yeah. So he stopped drinking for a while and then went on the diet and was just drinking on the weekends. So that's been sitting in my fridge for several months because I bought it and I was like, I don't want to drink it on my own because I want him to try it too because it was described as being so good. It's worth it. It was worth the wait. This stuff is awesome.
Yeah, and I decided to drink beer this time because last week was awful. For a lot of reasons I don't want to really get into too much. But what I did is Thursday night, I went to the grocery store and I got some beer because I'm like, I am going to play video games this weekend. I'm going to drink beer and I'm not going to do anything of value to anybody. And I majorly accomplished that goal. However, because I've been so out of the habit of drinking beer, I forgot I had it. And so, yeah, the beer fridge is actually full right now. So Beej is going to help me clear some of it, being the charitable soul that he is.
Totally. So, Sean Parkin. Hey, guys, love the podcast. Hey, Sean, thank you so much. We love doing it. Really enjoy it. So, on to doing what we were asked to do with this beer. It's definitely strong, about 8% alcohol.
It packs a wallop. Like, my back is sweating a little bit, which is fine.
It has... the very first thing I noticed was the caramel nose.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I took the... it's got a cork, actually. So as soon as I took the cork out of it, I noticed, the whole room smelled of, caramelized beer. It's really good. Of course, it's got a good caramel color to it. So.
And nobody else has got it right here.
Mm-hmm.
So... it is very tasty. You can also taste the that smoky kind of wood flavor. We like that flavor just in general. We drink a lot of Kentucky Bourbon Barrel. We've got some wine upstairs that was aged in oak casks, which is still there, by the way. I may have to get back into that
next week.
Yeah, but yeah, we like that kind of flavor, so that tends to be that's our jam, pretty much. It makes the beards longer. It's
fuller, thicker.
Yeah.
So as y'all know, last week I was sick. We didn't do a live feed. I went to the doctor Monday morning because I started feeling bad Saturday night and was out all day Sunday. Went to the doctor. They said, hey, don't go to work, don't record, go home and just lay down. It was upper respiratory stuff, sinus infection, that kind of thing. But I'm feeling a lot better today. And something kind of cool and exciting this past week. Yeah, I'm going to stand up.
Yeah, he's got to stand up and show the shirt.
So Lindsey Sterling had a sale on her website for a lot of her concert shirts from the last few years. And so I've gone to all the concerts, but it was while I was learning to code, especially like in 2014 through 2016 range. So I would save up and buy tickets, but I wouldn't be able to get anything other than, maybe a beer or something while I was there.
And now you ain't broke.
Yep. So when a lot of the concert shirts and posters that I had gone to went on sale for $5 each, I bought a bunch of swag.
So he's good about clearing other people's inventory.
Yeah.
Like whether it's shirts, beer, pizza hanging around, ice cream in the fridge. Remember college?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a little inside joke there.
Margaritas.
Yeah. Just remember this.
He didn't tell me I couldn't have them.
This one time, okay, so like before the podcast started, I think, or was it after?
It was after. It was right. No,
I can't
it was
remember
the May after. It was like right after.
Yeah. Okay. So I went to Vegas. My wife and I went to Vegas, and my daughter went to the in-laws, and I had BJ come over to the house and house sit because he didn't live here, and so he had a place to stay. All he had
By
to do was
here,
walk
he
the
means Nashville.
Yeah, all he had to do was walk the dogs, and I packed the beer fridge, like just crammed it full of beer. And I was like, okay, my wife's margarita mix will be safe in the fridge upstairs because he'll go for the beer first. Well, he did. But I underestimated somewhat. And so, like, I got back and I caught the fact that the margarita mix was gone before she did. And so I'm like scrambling to get out the door to go get her some more and put it in the fridge and it get cold before she notices it's gone.
So from my perspective,
I didn't tell you.
You did. So I come over.
I told you there was alcohol in the fridge.
You said there's alcohol in the fridge. There's food. There's leftovers in the fridge. Like
there's frozen stuff. I mean, I'm like,
he specifically cooked without onions the week before so that there would be leftovers for me.
So I mean, like I screwed up on that. Yeah. I was straight up honest. I think part of the deal too is
I wouldn't have drank it if you had said don't drink the margaritas. I saw it in there, like, oh hey, Will got me margarita mix. That's awesome.
Well, and I didn't think about I was thinking about the amount that a fella drinks when they're working full time, and they got the whole family thing going. Yeah. And so like I was like, how much would I drink in that amount of time? Well, you kind of have a higher tolerance for alcohol. And you also had a weekend in there, if I remember correctly. Like
there was a whole you guys left on. Yeah, it was over a weekend.
Yeah, and left like Saturday morning or something, and and I got him to do that, and then he was recoding my website, so he was here working for me, and I was like, I don't care if you drink beer or not, like I'm paying you for results. So it worked out pretty well for you, but yeah, there was just a little aside there on that. So we completely got off the rails.
So speaking of redoing some stuff, we actually just redid our intro and outro.
I didn't really tell you my update for the week.
Oh, I thought your update was...
well, I mean, like last week sucked.
I thought that was your update. Sorry,
and that was part of it. The other thing I've been doing is I've been going through Azure training videos on Pluralsight. And so like I'm starting to binge watch all that stuff. And it's, when it first came out, I wasn't really sure of the value prop of Azure because a lot of the stuff wasn't real polished. I mean, I know you and I set up websites on there, and it stunk for a while.
It did.
Now it doesn't look like that's the case.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I'm kind of wanting to get back into it. I just don't know where to go. But that's basically the update for me. I don't really have a whole lot of other stuff.
All right. So like what I was saying was we redid our intro and outro, and that came out yesterday, actually. Premiered on the April 1st episode. Sort of cleaned some things up in the opening. I reworded what my intro because I was told I was a bit redundant by calling myself the advancing journeyman.
Yeah.
A couple people told me that, so I reworded it, and then we also kind of shared some of the responsibility on the close and how we handled that.
Yeah,
so
and that way you don't have to hear my voice the entire time.
Yeah. So check it out. I mean, obviously you guys probably listen to the show if you're watching this. Otherwise, why are you watching this?
Hey, or why are you not listening to the show?
Right. See, I like that. That's good thinking.
This is the power of marketing. This is what it looks like in human form when marketing falls out of the sky. Yeah. Hey, it's really good marketing if I can say enough BS where I actually believe it myself.
Well,
Okay, so we want to get to our listener questions. We got one from the Slack. Said, I've been hired for my first software development job. I'll mostly be doing back-end stuff using the C# .NET stack. I start next week. Do you have any tips, advice on how to make a great first impression on management and colleagues? Okay, the first thing is take good notes and ask good questions. They're going to expect you to not know what's going on. Okay, you're a junior dev coming in on a completely new environment, new language stack, and all that stuff. The biggest thing they want to see is progress, that you can hit the ground kind of running and get answers, and get moving. So try to get to your first thing fixed as quick as possible, and start gathering details about the situation that you're dealing with. Another thing I'm going to tell you to do. If you haven't already made a good impression with the secretary, you need to do that fairly soon, because that person has actually got a lot more ties than you think they do. Just because they're at the front desk doesn't mean they're low on the totem pole. That's the person that the top level people talk to as well. Another thing is go to lunch with your coworkers and actually start making friends. Like, start working on that social network. And that would be the big things I would tell you to do on the first day. Also, dress well. Maybe dress a little bit above what's expected until you're sure.
So, for example, we recently had a guy start that I'm jealous. He and you have had the same mentor.
Okay, yeah.
And I know the. I
should be jealous.
Yeah, I know the guy.
You have me as a mentor. That's kind of that's the copy of the copy.
Yeah, but
even down to the beard. Actually, he doesn't really have long hair though. So.
No, but anyway, so. This guy started, and we mostly wear polos and slacks or something. The guys,
yeah.
And his first few days, he wore a button down and a tie.
Yeah.
And he's sort of lightened up now, but it's been a couple of weeks, and so that is a great way to make a good impression, because your first few days you're getting introduced to a lot of people.
Right.
I know.
It kind of sets that status in a little bit better for the first little bit, and then that's what they go with, and so it's easier to maintain that.
Yeah. The very worst they'll do is when you start dressing a little bit more relaxed, they'll go, "Oh, he's gotten comfortable here. Good."
Yeah.
That is the worst that dressing nice is going to do in that situation.
Yeah,
so.
It's mainly a thing of shifting the expectations and then moving to the same position you would be in, but changing the perception of that move.
Right. So
all life is a shell game.
But guys, if you have any questions, leave them for us in the comments. We try to pick it up. And it's just from Sean saying he listened to the podcast earlier. Thank you. But we look at those as we're going along. Try to answer them if they come in. We're still getting used to this. So
there's like 3 different windows we have to click through, and
so if you
crazy.
Don't hear from us, we will probably respond to it in the next one. So did you guys hear? Well, I guess you guys hear. You should have heard. Yesterday was April 1st, April Fool's Day. There's a lot of great prank products being announced. So for our news story, we're going to go through a few of those and just sort of tell you about some of the ones that I liked the most. The first one is Lego's VacuSort. This is a vacuum that sorts your Lego blocks. It'll either sort by color or shape. It even separates the dust and has a storage bin for the different groups of blocks.
The scary thing is somebody's going to look at that and go, that's a prank, but that's something that should exist.
Oh, I know. When I saw it,
there's going to be some group at MIT that's going to make that.
Well, speaking of making things, the next one is something that I think you and I should make. And this is Roku's streaming socks. This is for Netflix and Hulu bingers that don't want to handle the remote. Maybe you're eating popcorn and you got, oily fingers. So these are gesture-based socks to navigate your smart device. So you swipe through your options and pick it with your toes.
So you're going to have a smart screen or a touch screen that's going to have toe grease.
No,
on it.
it's
No.
not a screen.
Oh, it's a gesture thing. Okay, I got you.
it's like a glove.
So I'm
but
gonna
for your-
waft my socks around the room. It's going to be like this beer where the smell comes out. I'm sure the wife will be happy with that.
But think about it. You get those big fluffy comfy socks, and how many people sit and binge watch Netflix? This is such a great idea. Like I'm surprised someone hasn't done this, because you know that my sister would use this.
Yeah, I know several people that would use it, including my wife, probably.
Yeah. So we really ought to build this because we could make money.
Yeah.
Totally. And the final one is probably my favorite. This is from Yelp, and their app had a broken screen layer on it. So when you opened up the Yelp app yesterday, it looked like your screen had cracked.
And so did you make a Yelp review that says, worst app ever, broke my screen? Because that's meta right there. Like, I forget where I was. I saw this sign.
See, they were trying to be meta and go like, you can search Yelp for screen repair places, but that's even better.
Yeah, so like I saw this sign. I forget where this was. It was outside of a bar.
Did it open up your eyes?
Yeah. Oh, great. Now Ace of Base is going to be in my head. Thanks for that. No. So I saw this sign outside of a place, a restaurant that said, come in and try the soup that this one guy on Yelp said was the worst he ever had. I thought that's a good
awesome.
Way, that's
yeah.
a good play.
Yeah, that really is.
Let's see. So is this you or is this me?
You.
I don't know. We need to have I don't know what you call that. Actually, we need to have the thing that they have in like media, real media people have that like says who's the goober that has to say this. Even though there's only two of us, we sometimes get a little. Okay, I get a little confused. He doesn't. But you know what? It would be great for.
It's because I write it all.
It would be great for me because I don't really need the confusion. And, I have enough confusion in my life. Like, let's
maybe if you wrote it.
Maybe, but since that's not going to happen, we need the other thing. All right, so April 1st, we had an episode on what developers can learn from fairy tales. Children's stories were told to help children navigate their path towards adulthood. And the world was understood to be a dangerous place with both a high level of risk and opportunities for rewards. And fairy tales also serve to give a shared mythology to the tribe and allow one to learn about other groups of people. And we did this episode as kind of like we do a weird thing on April 1st. For a variety of reasons, but the real point of a campfire tale like this, or a fairy tale, or a cultural legend, is to instruct the young while keeping the fear in a safe context. And we thought this was very valuable in the context of software development as well, because there's a lot in children's stories that a lot of software developers don't seem to have internalized. And we wanted to use, Grimm's fairy tales or Hans Christian Andersen, the older fairy tales that are not so Disney-fied and rounded corners. I guess that's probably the best way to put it. It's like Grimm's fairy tales are very gritty, and they're really better teaching tools than their Disney counterparts. And there's not always a happy ending, but things aren't as bleak as more modern tales like Game of Thrones or Walking Dead, where everyone dies and comes back, as it were. And we break these things down into lessons you can teach your children, lessons you should understand about your own life in general, and lessons that apply in code, because these apply in all three contexts. And so it was really a fun episode. We enjoyed putting that together. Mm-hmm. So go check it out. It's actually not a joke. We don't really do the whole joking April 1st thing quite as much.
We do it. We don't. Our pranks are a bit different. So there are some jokes, and if you're fans of our other shows in the network, some pranks on them in the episode.
That's right. I forgot about that.
So we do some stuff like that, but it is not the. I think our very first year we did the. We're announcing the end of the podcast, and that was the only time we ever did some goofy thing like that. We're more. It's a little bit more serious, but also lighthearted.
Yeah, and part of the deal is we had a friend, an old friend that died on April 1st, and. Of course, the running joke when he died was that, he's in Costa Rica now. He's just like tired of all his friends, and he went away because we never actually saw his body, which if you knew the guy, you would understand the joke.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of a tribute to him. And then, we had another friend that passed a year ago today.
Yeah.
and he would have he would have enjoyed pranks like that too. So
he did.
Yeah, yeah, actually he did the first couple.
Yeah,
he listened. This is the first one without him.
That's true.
Well, he didn't listen to the one last year either because he was unconscious. But he listened to the very first one. Oh. But he would have enjoyed that too. So it's sort of a tribute to old friends long gone.
Yeah. So we had a couple of comments while we were talking. Again, like I said, guys, we're still getting used to this, so we don't see them as quickly. But Brandon Moore asked, which is your favorite joke product? And I think Yelp had the best prank, but Roku had the best idea.
Yeah, my favorite joke product...
From the list that we went over.
Oh, from the list you went over.
I guess.
That narrows it too much. I was going to say Windows 10.
I would think Windows 8.
It's a surveillance system that pretends to be an operating system. Pretending to, yeah.
All right. So, guys, if you haven't already checked it out, check out the last episode that came out on our regular schedule, which is evaluating office layouts. It's really important that your office environment match both your personality and the work you're trying to complete. Offices are the spaces where work gets done, and they're the primary locations where ideas get generated, friendships are formed, and a lot of the non-transit waking time is spent during your week. Knowing what kinds of office environments work best for your personality type, your current task load, and the work environment that you're in can yield clues to how to fix it if work becomes unpleasant. In this episode, we start with talking about the different types of office environments, then discuss different ways that those offices are furnished. Next, we talk about the types of distractions that are present in the office. And finally, we go over how different types of work will impact the environment you are in.
And the episode this week is about technical debt. So you understand with like real regular debt that you eventually end up with debt collectors calling. They leave threatening voicemails, they send letters saying they'll take legal action soon, that kind of stuff, scare tactics, but they eventually do that. Technical debt is the idea that there will be a cost in terms of more development work down the line for using certain solutions to problems that arise while developing. The whole idea is a metaphor comparing development to taking out financial debt. And technical debt can be used to predict the amount of work that refactoring your code will take, or implementing a new feature, or basically touching the code. It's, here's the load that's already on that wagon when you start it moving. We're going to use a couple of systems to break down technical debt. First, we'll talk about the types of debt, then the sizes or how much debt you take on. Next, we'll discuss how technical debt accumulates, looking at each type with the size of each debt. Finally, we'll discuss paying off your debt and how that comes down. And so we're going to use the financial metaphor and take it further so that you can understand whether the technical debt in your environment is reasonable to have or not.
All right, guys. Thank you all for paying attention. Thanks for participating. Those that did. Periscope, Twitter, YouTube, y'all, if y'all did say anything, sorry we didn't catch it. We're still working on that. Facebook, we have to do like a direct feed to it, so there is that. We're going to hop off here. Easter Bunny reference hop.
Oh.
That was bad. I spent the weekend with my nieces, come on.
Yeah, so actually go out in the yard and look around and see if you can find a joke, because Beach didn't.
Oh,
that's right.
Burn.
Put a loincloth in that joke because it was savage.
Oh. All right, guys. We're gonna get off here and record an episode. We will talk to y'all later.